So next, let's talk about the link list. This also we saw it when we were using to create the menu for our website. So to use the link list, you must first of all go to your Shopify admin and go to menu and then create a menu here. So let's make a quick test. I'm going to create again another menu. So let's call it test 1. Let's call it actually second menu, and let's add some item there. So we're gonna say test 1. Let's add some quick link there. Let's add another one. Let's say test 2. And you know what, I'm going to add also sub menus so that you see, let's say sub menu. Let me save it and let me add this sub menu just below the test 1, and I'm gonna create another sub menu for the test 2. So sub menu 2, let's give it some random link for now, and let's make it just below the test 2. And let's also create another sub menu for the test 1. So let's say sub menu like this. So let's say sub menu 2. Let's validate this one, and let's add another sub menu. I'm running out of names, so just bear with me. And this one is going to be below the first sub menu here. So this is, we're just nesting the menus. Those are called like levels. So when you adding sub menus, it's become like level 1, and this is like level 2, I believe. The menu can accept until level 3 of nesting the menu. So let's stop until here for now, and let's save it, and let's go now to see how to use this new menu with the link list. A certain type of link list output a menu picker. So when you use it, it's gonna give you the possibility to choose what menu you want to use to display where exactly. So because now we have like 4, okay, so when you use now this link list, is going to give you the possibility to choose which menu you want to use. Okay, so it's going to help you to capture the menu picker fields that automatically populated with the available menu for the store. You can use this settings type to capture the menu selection, such as the menu to use for the footer link or for the menu link. So this is how it is used. Okay, so sample, the type must be link list, and the ID, the label, you already know about it. When accessing the link list, the data is returned as a link list object or a blank if no selection has been made or the selection no longer exists. And of course, the link list accepts the default value. The default in this case is going to be the handle of that menu. So if I come back to my menu here, I choose, let's say, the second one. If you look just here, you're going to have the handle. So this is what is going to be as the default value in the case you want to use this second menu as your default. I hope I make myself clear. Alright, so let's see how we can use it. So we go back to my VS Code. Just below the inline rich text, I'm going to create type of link list, and let's give it an ID. Let's call it just menu, and the label we can say header menu. Okay, and we can give it a default if you want. So let's try to give it a default of, let me go back to my Shopify admin. Let me give the default for footer menu, for example. So I'm just gonna copy the handle here. So if I come and say footer and I save it, I'm not gonna get any error. So if I come back to my customize here and reload, you can see that the header menu already selected the footer menu as its default. So just for you to know. For me, I'm going to remove it for now because I want the store owner to choose by himself. When it's not selected, it's empty. So then when you click on select, now we have all the selection here. So we can choose what we want. So we want to make test with the second menu. So I will select it and I will save it. And of course, we're going to see nothing here. So we need to learn now how to access it. So if we go back to your VS Code and you try now to access it, remove this code here. So the same access is going to be like usual. So section.settings dot the menu, that's the ID we gave right here. Okay, so if I save it and I go check here, so we're going to have it's giving us the handle, the second menu, but it's not what we want. So if we come back here and we add dots, we're going to have now access to the handle, which we already have. We're going to have access to the level. So the level is the number of the nested level in the menu. Okay, so if I print the level, it's going to give me at least 2 or 3. It gives me 3, yeah, just like we said, because we have the handle we created here. So here's like 1, 2, and 3 level. Okay, so when you come back, we need now to find a way to access this status menu here. So to do that, when you read your documentation, it's telling you to access the link list object. But before to show you that, let's come back here. Let's remove this level. Let's add again the dot, and let's print the title. So if we print the title, it's gonna give us the titles of our menu. So in this case, it's called second menu. Okay, and if you come back here and you do dot links, and this dot links is going to return a link list object. That's why we have here link drop, link drop. So if now we come, and again, when you see something ends with a drop, it means we have to loop. But just to go to our documentation, let me click on link list object to see what we're going to have. So is what we just talked about. So the handle, we saw it, the levels, we already saw it, the titles, and the link we just accessed is an array, and we believe that this array contains our data. So we need to go and loop it. So let's go and do that. So I'm just gonna copy this one, and we're gonna write a for loop, and this for loop is going to be against the section settings menu.links, and here let's give it a name. We can say second menu, and let's try now to print what is going to be inside the second menu. So if I go second menu dot, I'm going to have access to all other objects here. So I can print, for example, the title, and if I print the title, we're going to have our links print here. If I go and refresh, now we have test 1 and test 2. Let me just remove this one. So we're going to have test 1 and test 2. So that is the menu we have exactly here. So we have test 1 and test 2 as our main menu. Okay, so what about if we want to access the sub menu we have over here? Okay, so test 1 has like 2 sub menu, and test 2 has only 1 sub menu. So to access that, we need to first verify if the levels exist. Okay, if the levels below exist. So to do that, we need to use this variable we created here. So we're gonna say, we're gonna come just below. Let me just copy that, and we're gonna verify if the levels, the second levels exist, if the levels is like more than 1. So we're gonna say second menu dot, and again access the levels, and if we check if it's more than 0, okay, so we can see that the test 2, the first menu, has 2 levels below, and the test 2 has 1 level. So if we go, can verify that the test 1 has 2 levels menu, and the test 2 has only 1. Okay, so if there was nothing here, if I go and remove this, for example, okay, and I save it, you're going to see it's gonna print 0 here. So let me refresh, and now we have 0. Okay, so we need always to verify that this levels is more than 0, then we can access it to show the sub menu. So we can write some if statement here. We can say second menu that levels when it's different than 0 or more than 0. Then we want now to display, in this case we want to loop because it's going to be still an array. So we want again to loop, and this time we're going to loop against the second menu dot, and we need to access again the links, okay, because we're looking the array where we have our second menu, and we can call this one sub menu. And if I come and I print now sub menu dot title, and I save it, I have no error here. So it's gonna print test 1 sub menu and sub menu 2. That's the sub menu we created here. You know, test 1 sub menu and sub menu 2, and the test 2 has no sub menu, so it's not printing anything. And you can continue like this with the same principles to double check if the levels exist inside like this sub menu. If it does, then you can print again what is below here, okay, as the last levels. And of course you can also access the, you can access here the submenu URL like this, and you're going to have the URL of the link like this, okay, slash submenu and etc. In this case it's just the slash because we set it to be the home page. All right, so that's it for the link list. Thank you for watching.